So let's talk about Kyle Bradish a little bit and his update while we get Kevin situated. So yesterday, I'm not going to say it was bad news, but it was a little concerning hearing Brandon Hyde talk about Kyle Bradish. He said, yeah, Kyle Bradish is still to be decided on if he'd pitch today, Thursday. And as we all know, Cade Povich was called up to take that start. So he didn't start today. And it grew more concerning when Hyde made comments about Bradish potentially not even pitching in the 4-game series in Tampa Bay. We took last night our panic meter, and a lot of people sitting around the 5 to 6s. Kevin, how we feeling? All right. We're making sure that's good. A lot of people sitting in the 5 to 6s, but today we did get an update from Steve Molesky, and here it is. Going to get that on screen. So Steve Molesky, they talked to Brandon Hyde beforehand, and he clarified, Brandon Hyde, that just because Bradish, they aren't sure when he will start next, does not mean that this is about a physical concern, meaning potential injuries, stuff like that. So it does seem as if they are just completely resting Kyle Bradish. That's best case scenario. Let's call it like it is. That is absolute best case scenario. Let me stop sharing this right now. The best case for the Orioles would be to obviously get Kyle Bradish back in the swing of things. Maybe he misses a start, maybe he doesn't. But the most important thing that the Orioles can do is keep Kyle Bradish healthy. Doesn't matter if he misses 2 starts, 3 starts, whatever it is. If you have him healthy for the full season, that is a win. And so the biggest concern right now, if I'm the Orioles, and I think it's what they're doing, it's not to press Kyle Bradish. It's make sure that when he goes out there, he is as healthy and physically ready as possible, because we've seen guys who push themselves too far suddenly get into injury concerns. So when Kevin gets in his seat in a few, we'll talk about kind of where we are concern-wise for it. But I do have to say, my concern from yesterday up until now has gone down drastically. Yesterday, I was pretty much ready to say, I think Kyle Bradish is going on the IL. I think Kyle Bradish may not pitch again this year. But now it seems as if it was just strictly rest. So we will see what happens. Every single starter is to be announced right now versus the Tampa Bay Rays in the 4-game series coming up starting tomorrow. So we'll see who takes the mound, and we'll see if Kyle Bradish finds his way on the bump in Tampa. Kevin, we almost right over there?
Yeah, we're getting situated.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. That's big.
It's a step in the right direction.
Massive. So while Kevin gets set up, in the comment section right now, tell us, we took the poll last night on the postgame show, but let us know, where is your concern 1 to 10 right now after Bradish? Like I said earlier, yesterday, a lot of people hovered in that 4 to 6 range. I was definitely higher on it. I was 6.5 to 7. Now I'm going to take it all the way down to like a 5. I think a 5 is a solid, 4.5 to 5 is a solid place for my concern right now. Kevin is struggling with the headphones. It's okay, Kevin. You got this.
The cord was too short.
I'm seeing, you know what? Honestly, I'm seeing a lot of Joe 2.25, Casey 3. We got Jones still a 6, and I get that. It is kind of managerial talk to say that they're just keeping a guy for rest, but I truly do think that they are hopefully no concerns. We ready over there, Kevin? You got a?
I think we're good. Can you?
Oh, we're back, baby.
Shot looks good.
Yeah.
I sound good.
Yeah, we're here.
Wow. This is monumental.
So what are your thoughts on Kyle Bradish?
Yeah, I mean, I go back to our conversation we had with Yoni about a month ago now, where we asked him, and for those who didn't see that, Yoni Rosenblatt is a doctor and specializes in different types of injuries, sports performance, and we asked him about Kyle Bradish, and if this is just he's over it and we can all move forward, or is this like we have to pray every time he goes out there? And Yoni said, unfortunately, every time he goes out there, you're gonna have to kind of pray. And that's when I said, Zach, about the Kyle Bradish Jesus candle. We should get one of those. And so my concern, I agree with you, from where we were yesterday with kind of the vagueness of Brandon Hyde's comments, I'm more in the I was anywhere from a 4.5 to a 5. I'm more in the 2.5 to 3 range now. But are we going to have to go through this for the rest of the season with him? Where is he on a longer rest schedule? Which, again, if you have to put him on a longer rest schedule, fine. You do that because Kyle Bradish is Kyle Bradish. But I do feel like where is he feeling now compared to where he was at the start of the season? And if he is feeling worse, is that pain only going to get worse, or is there increased risk here? Obviously, the Orioles are being cautious, being careful, as they should be. Shouldn't be overextending him. And this honestly, Zach, takes me back to when he was pitching those no-hit innings.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted him to stay in and try to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us were like, we know the injury Kyle Bradish had. Don't push him. It's a game. And at that point, it was May.
Yeah.
And there were still people who were saying, oh, why didn't he stay out there? Why didn't he get... When you have a pitcher who's been through an injury like that, who has gone through an injury like that, and you're playing a regular season game, the goal is not to win in the regular season. Obviously, you have to have a good regular season to get to where you want to go in the playoffs. It's still important to win games in the regular season, but they were winning that game. The point is, if you let Kyle Bradish go back out there and he gets injured or the injury flares up again and you could have avoided that, that's the worst case scenario. So I expect Baltimore to be careful all year. I mean, I expected them to be, but we're going to have to see. I think a good barometer for me is, does he pitch at all in this Tampa series?
Yeah, that's right? exactly
Yeah.
exactly where I'm at as well. As if we see him on the mound in Tampa, obviously he's out there, so the worry goes down a bunch. But yeah, we've talked with a bunch of different people, and all of them kind of reiterated going into the season that this is not an injury with the UCL that Bradish is going to come back in the second he is healthy enough to step on a mound. He's good. Like, he's in the clear. Like, this is going to linger for a little bit and be something that could potentially get worse. So you hate to speculate, and we try not to speculate on what's going to happen. We just go off of what we're told.
Yep.
And right now we're being told it's just rest. So I don't want to start, jumping off the cliff thinking, okay, this is the end of it. The Orioles are out another ace, because we don't know that right now. Mm-hmm. So that's the hardest part, is we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.